Hi, I'm Roscoe and welcome to EV Marketplace on a Wednesday night. And if it's 6:30 on a Wednesday night, you've got to be watching EV Marketplace because it's EV Wednesday. We'll fill you out for an hour or so and then Tom will be here with the gang, I'd say 9 o'clock, I think. There's plenty to watch in between. I've been watching Formula E this week, and more about that later. There's a ton of stuff, but I think Mrs. Amazing's been watching the Giro d'Italia, so each to their own. There's plenty on, plenty of news, and we've got your dose, your weekly dose of used EV deals, data, and discovery tonight. Thanks for watching live on YouTube, Facebook, and now LinkedIn. And if you're watching on Catch Up later on, we have a massive night tonight. And of course, a special guest a bit later in the second half. Wonderful guy that we've met online. He's been selling his Kia EV. We've following that process and that story through tonight. He agreed to come on and have a chat about that, and stay tuned for that. And if you want to go away, come back in the half an hour and watch that. Watch it till the very end, because I've never seen a man more passionate about a car. Well, maybe with the exception of Stan from Kangaroo Island, about his Polestar, but I've never seen anyone so passionate about a Kia EV. So much so, in the intro, that was just a little snippet, some video of him, and he wrote a song about his Kia EV. It almost made me tear up. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. I filmed it earlier this afternoon, but stay tuned. We've got that coming up in the second half, and the full song as well. It is absolutely magnificent. If there's a top 100 or top 10 EV songs later in the year, this has got to be a contender. He wrote it, he composed it, and he sang it for us. No one's ever sung an EV song for us yet. This is all coming together, and we're having a hell of a lot of fun. But that all started a couple of weeks ago with this message. And, you know, I love to start with the inbox, my favorite spot. And this was a message from Les at the time, a couple of weeks ago. Straight into the inbox, contact note at AmazingEV, of course, our own dedicated EV marketplace. And it's brought to you, this show, by AmazingEV. A lot of deals, a lot of new cars, and we're going to take a look at them a bit later on, because I'm excited too, because we've got some fantastic cars to show you. It's back in the market. It's bouncing back. Quick hello to everyone. This is Amazing. Murray, how you doing tonight? Joe, thanks for joining us. Good to see you guys. A lot of stuff happening. The market's really bouncing back in the used space. So look forward to bringing you a few cars later on. But I want to take you through this story for a start. And Les sent this note in. Nothing unusual about that, except I hadn't had much to do with Kias and Kia EV5s in particular so far. We've followed our good mate Dave with his Kia EV6. Had some few ups and downs recently, but done over 150,000 Ks. But the EV5, we haven't driven. Sarah Aubrey, of course, drove the EV, picked up an EV3 a few months ago, and I think she's enjoying that. This one, I haven't driven it. We've driven the EV9, which is massive and probably double the price. But this looks like a bit smaller version, very similar style. And I've got to admit, it hasn't been my favorite car to date. This story has changed my opinion on this. And look, just goes to show everyone's got their own favorites. Everyone's got their own ideas about EVs. I'm loving this, but ticking away in the background, this one has been doing pretty well. The Kia EV6, EV5 has been doing pretty well. The EV6 has fallen off the sales charts. But we had a look at this one and had a closer look. This is the drive sales data, the new car sales data year to date. And the EV5's coming in quite nicely there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's doing pretty well, just under 2,000 units. So it's been ticking away quite nicely in the background. Sort of surprised me. I thought the EV3 might have done a bit better. And it's up there in terms of size, a bit smaller than the Model Y. But yeah, Murray, yeah, we do need more utes. Like, put the rear seats down in the Model Y, and you've got enough room for almost as much room as a ute. But the utes are coming. I've got a video out that's been out there for about a year now that still keeps ticking away as one of my favorites. It's really popular. But I like the Kia EV5, and I didn't like it, but I'm growing to like it a bit more now. So yeah, it's up there. It's at 2,000, nowhere near the Model Y or the C-Line 7, but ticking along quite nicely. I was quite surprised. So we worked with Les, and he had it listed on car sales and wasn't sure about Facebook, but more than happy to list it with us, and we ran him through the process. It's free to list if you use the coupon down below. Now Les paid, he paid $29.95 normally. Happy to do so, happy to promote Amazing EV. There's a lot of cross promotion going on in this video. We haven't paid him. It was just a pleasure for him to come on. That resulted in this listing on Amazing EV a couple of weeks ago. I think this is a pretty good deal. $52,990 for a 25 Model Y. Now, I'll let him tell you why he's selling it a bit later on in the show, because it seems like it's curious. It's only a year old. He did buy it secondhand himself. He'll tell you a bit more about that. And again, size-wise, he loves it. Loves that. Oh, he he liked it. Let me tell you that when he first bought it. Size might be an issue now, and perhaps that dictates which way he goes next. But this is what it looks like at Amazing EV. So quite a few inquiries from here and car sales, and he's got the message out. And I think that in this market, this one's really well priced. What do you guys think? I think that's not bad considering this is over 60 new. They were a bit cheaper. They had come down. There's no doubt about that. They had come down a bit. This one, of course, Chinese made. I think the EV with the LFP battery, and the EV3 is Korean made. But I think that must give him a cost advantage. He's not far from Sydney. If anyone's interested, have a look. It's for sale. It is a good looking car. It's handsome, I would call it. It's a handsome car and very Kia-ish, true to style. PV5 Ute coming out, of course, van Ute, big combination. So a lot of action there, and I got to thinking about data and information on the Kias and a few other cars I was trying to sort out, because this one's a Kia EV5 Earth, and I honestly didn't know what was happening there with these models, and it was curious. I came across this website, which you guys might be interested in as well, and that's this evwiki.org. Now, Australia's got its very own EV Wiki. Now, I know the guys who are running this, or who's behind it. I saw a link on Facebook. So if you put an EV5, it's got every model that's new available. They're not listed for sale. It's a listing of all the cars, all the EVs, just EVs in Australia, and all the variants, which a little bit of data on the power, a little bit of data on the capacity, a little bit of data on the range and the 0 to 100. So, and the names and the model years, which is really nice reference point for me. I'm forever trying to keep track of everything. Joe says, yeah, very compact, the EV3. I think, yeah, 4.3, smallish, nice, and had a good experience. Yeah, it sounds like it's a nice little car to drive, the EV3 as well. And I think from what Les said, he's been loving driving the EV5, and it's over 500. He's getting over 500 Ks out of it, but more about that later on. But this was a great site. I don't know if you guys have seen this, the evwiki.org. And what's also interesting is people have put together community lists of all sorts of comparisons, and you can make your own contribution as well. So I think that's really handy if you're looking to get the base model data on something. I know there's a lot of other people. Ava put out some fantastic lists. I like things online. I like the way this presents, and it's easy for me to research. I've put a link on Amazing EV on the website now, and you can go there via the toolkit EV Wiki, so you can access it that way. And it's just really handy. There's the Ioniq 5N and all the variations. So the photos aren't exactly up to date on the model years and the exact model years. There's a few generic photos, but they tried to specifically detail every model and model year and the basic specs. Handy for me. I'm often cross-referencing listings on Amazing EV and trying to make sure that customers have ensured we've all got the right data for a particular model year, or right-hand rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. This has been really handy for me, so I hope maybe you guys can use this as well. Very handy tool, and I'm happy to pass on any tools I can to help you find some data and discovery. But speaking of data and discovery and deals, this one, our very first, well, the first used EV truck that I've seen anywhere. This was on Facebook Marketplace. I didn't see it on car sales, but I try not to spend any more time on car sales. Joe says, did not get to try the Kia EV Connect, so not sure what the pros and cons. Yeah, I'll have a chat to Les about that. But yeah, the V12, very handy. Les, the seller, was all in on the solar. I'm not sure about the app, and I'm coming from the Tesla world. We didn't. I don't think we talked much about app. He wasn't an app kind of guy, so I think he was just to get in more traditional setup, but probably not as sophisticated in that area. And I think Apple CarPlay and Android Auto could be the default choice for a lot of people. But this one, a JAC electric truck for 68 grand. I think this is sold within about 3 days. The backstory was it looks like it's been sitting there. It's virtually done 500 Ks, 300 Ks. That's not 300,000 Ks. It's done 300 Ks. 68 grand. Promise of things to come for AmazingEV. I'm looking to get more and more commercials and trucks and get into the utes, guys, as well, as soon as we get some on the secondhand market. This is going to be huge. 68 grand, and it's sold within a few days. I mean, there's brand new Transit EV vans that are more expensive than that. This is just a truck with basic 250k around the city last mile range. I've seen them in Sydney. Coles have got them. IKEA have got them. This was a deal. This was a bargain for anyone looking for a delivery truck around town to run. So really nice to see. I missed out on this listing, but followed that, and that came and went very quickly indeed. So what do you guys think? Do you see these trucks around? I'm seeing them around Sydney. Coles have got them. I've had a chat to a driver the other day. She loved it. IKEA have had them for a while. This looks like it. There's a million trucks if you look on them. You've seen them in China, Joe, as well. Compared to some of the vans, and I'm a van man myself, this space is going to get competitive. There's no doubt. Good deal, and that one came and went very quickly indeed. But some breaking news, which again sideways into another area of one of my secret hobbies and habits. We're all Formula One fans, and some people aren't, but I'm following it still. The glitz, the glamour, the drama. It's now 48% electric. It's causing them a bit of consternation. But if you haven't checked out the real deal, and Zoe says, yeah, my Zappy was a bit slow as well. Had a feeling of the 78 kilowatt battery from 20 to, yeah, a little bit slower than perhaps some of the other standard bearers. There was some information on that EV Wiki about the charging from 20 to 80. Les, the owner of the EV5, charged overnight at home with solar and very rarely charged on public chargers. So each their own in terms of how important that is. Breaking news, though, this deal just came out in the last couple of days. For anyone that follows Formula E, absolutely nothing to do with used EVs, but one of my passions. Watching some of particularly the latest round at Monaco, a warm-up for the real thing perhaps, but the EV racing, Formula E, is just getting more and more exciting, particularly on a track like Monaco where there's a crowd. It's the same track, and they are fast and they're quick in the acceleration. And they've just done a deal with Goodwood Festival coming up. Now, if you don't know what Formula E is and you don't know what Goodwood is, check them both out. We'll switch off now. But both, Goodwood, a bastion of petrol heads and sophisticated gentlemen in very high performance petrol cars. They toyed with EVs and had EV Corner and embracing it, but this is an amazing partnership. And Formula E are really taking off and picking up. And they've got the Gen 4 car, which this is not a Formula 1 car. This is a Gen 4 Formula E car. Hardly goes without a charge now. They stop and have a quick charge over a 29, 30 lap race, have a quick charge like a pit stop. This will get better economy. It's got about 4 times the power they had when they first started. No battery swapping anymore. It's just a quick zap charge. And this is a standardized car, standardized motor. All the teams get the same kit. They do their own livery, same aerodynamics. And the driver, it is up to them from there on. So keep an eye out for that next year. This is going to get more and more exciting as Formula One heads back to petrol. they got no, they may not have a choice the way they've handled this. So very interesting, but exciting news for me. I'm a big fan of the Formula E. Yeah, Murray, I've seen the local Woolworths as well, EV truck, and all of those last mile guys could do it easily. It's got to be saving you money. Prices like that truck, absolutely unbelievable. Joe, do you think hydrogen is we're gonna get there? Maybe one day, but yeah, maybe not. There's a heap of electric buses around, and there's no doubt hydrogen's got a place. But yeah, interesting to see whether they can get that together. You guys are moving on. You guys have heard me talk about battery charging, battery testing for a long time. We've just about mentioned it in every show. It's becoming more and more important. And I talk to Nathan Gore-Brown from Test EV all the time. He's done a lot of work with fleets and the dealerships and the OEMs. Everybody's used car dealerships, new car dealerships for trading, for selling. Not as much on the private market yet, but it's filtering through to even smash repair people, insurance checks. So all sorts. And we often talk about how quick that is. Avalode relies on a device. You plug it into the car, an OBD, and it plugs into the car and then connects with the internet, downloads some data from the car. He's just about got every make and model covered now. So there were a few gaps, but now just about everywhere. It relies on a physical connection to the car at the moment. The data's in the car. We came across another service from Ziva, which was via Tim, who I've talked to from WhipSmart. And he had done another bit more examination onto maybe an over-the-air style of battery test. Now, the data is held by Tesla. They only do Teslas at the moment. There's another group called Recurrent in the States as well. But Ziva's another. There's no doubt they are buying the data from Tesla and on selling it. And you go through the approval process and you get the report in the email, and there's no physical connection. There's a couple of services out there like that. It sounds like they've made an arrangement. You have to approve their access to the Tesla data for your car. It's pretty detailed. I'm going to show you. He gave me a free coupon. I have not examined it much further, their relationship. I believe they've got a reseller arrangement, but he was fortunate enough to give me, because I hadn't had a chance to do a physical test with Nathan. We hadn't actually done a physical test on my own Model Y. So the guys are still on the Australia Post. Anybody else that's got an electric truck, let me know, because we're all on board. Should have bought that one myself. I could have done the last mile deliveries in the electric truck, and it would have been fantastic. Sign written, AmazingEV as well. But the battery testing, if you do a Tesla, and lots of people say to me, Tesla's got its own, this is what it looks like. Prima facie, front line, press the button, battery health on a Tesla. And if you're not a Tesla owner, you might have experimented with something similar on your car or not. Why is this so important? Well, we just think the battery health is going to be really important. Again, if you're not at the stage where your car gets to 100 Ks, 120, where that confidence about a seller being confident enough to buy the car or the seller being confident enough to sell the car to a new buyer, we figure there's some point where, everyone's pretty confident up to about 60 or 70,000 Ks, and it's growing as battery confidence grows, and that level grows. But there's a point where probably buyers do need some confidence, and we're just trying to work out where that is. So testing's all in vogue. The auction houses are doing it. Car buyers are doing it to make sure they don't buy a dud car. There are some of the Teslas, the early ones, the NMC batteries, are not doing as well. That's a certain fact. But again, circumstantial. This is what Tesla, and if you want to dig deeper into the Tesla battery trial, you have to sit there under certain conditions for 15 hours and do all sorts of things and something like that. While Tesla tests your car. The other alternative with the Ziva test was you log in, you pay them the money, you log in, you approve access, back comes a report within a couple of hours, and they've accessed the data on your car for the last month. Now, this is absolutely fascinating, because there is a lot of data and a lot of information. So prima facie, the number that jumps out at you is my 2022 Tesla Model Y is at a state of health 90.8%. And was I happy with that? Yeah, pretty much so. Based on what I'd sort of known, it was more, and there's better and worse results, but 5% in the first year, they always said, and then 1.5% every year after that. And it's a 3-year-old car now, 3.5-year-old car. So, yeah, 5 plus 4 and a bit. So that's pretty much on par. You can see the top line data. They've got all the information about the car, the VIN, the exact date of production, 29th of June. And I didn't know a lot of this because I haven't checked exactly. The battery manufacturer, Cattle, that's nice to know that CATL made the battery for the Model Y. That it actually now, and after the event, gives me a lot of satisfaction. The odometer, I'm close to 110 now. This was done a couple of weeks ago. And we're at 90.8%. The interesting part from here is, fast charging. I have done, just to give you some confidence, I've done 75% DC charging. So I haven't worried. We haven't got a charger at home. 25% AC, slow trickle, or usually very slow granny charging, and 75% DC. So that might seem a lot for people, but it hasn't had any more effect on the degradation of the battery. So I was pretty happy with this. The other interesting thing, again, which again you can explore yourself, very interesting for me, second part of this report, was the total consumption and the economy. I haven't been big into this. I've worked out I've been getting about 17 on average kilowatt hours using 17 kilowatt hours per 100 Ks. That's pretty good. 20's industry norm. Anyway, 15's a bit better. You guys know maybe more about economy. I haven't worried too much about it. But that figure there, 338.3 kilowatt hours of the total I've used, is from regen braking. Now, most of my driving's urban, and I'm stop-start. I'm Uber driving in my spare time to keep everything going. I'm driving around in and out around Sydney. Not a lot of country trips for me at the moment. So if you're not using a brake and you are using regen and relying on regen, as I do, to finesse the stopping and starting, this is the sort of result that you're getting. Out of the total energy consumption of 863, 300 more than a third from regen. That is having phenomenal effects. So if you weren't sure about regen, the total effect it was having on the usage of your car and the economy of your car, this has proved to be more than ever that it makes a huge difference. The regen is absolutely critical to the way the economy you get. Now, the range is down as a result of that battery being down. I get below 400. I've always said between 350 and 400. Other data, some other research from Recurrent, who also do battery tests and been running a lot of opt-in research on a big fleet of Teslas for a long time, have suggested that there's no linear relationship between the battery degradation and the range dropping. The range actually, because they overstate the range in many cases, the range of the cars has not dropped linearly with the dropping, with the battery degradation and the lower percentage in capacity. Let's not get too deep into that. It is fascinating for me. Regen's important. It is a big deal. And I am amazed about how much of the power I'm using in the car is not coming from the charge point. It's coming from the regen. But let's take a look at some of the incredible cars at AmazingEV, because that is really the thrilling part about this week is some of the amazing cars at AmazingEV. I have seen some incredible cars. Now, we have lost AmazingEV. Let's go back to it. AmazingEV. There is another song that Mrs. Amazing knows about EVs, but we haven't played that one as well. So take a look at this one for a start. We've had 6 or 7 listings in the last week or so. Pretty quiet period over April and early May, but things have bounced back. The market has slowed down. Cars aren't selling as fast. Tesla's still at a bit of a premium. Other cars still attracting some good to fair pricing. That the Kia earth certainly stood out as a good deal. I think he priced that very well. This one here, I really wanted to show you some exciting cars. This one up in Brisbane, if you don't want to wait for a Kia Zeekr fans, if you don't want to wait for a Zeekr Performance, this is available for sale in Brisbane right now. This guy I've chatted to on the phone again, genuine story, nothing wrong with the car, just a change of circumstances, and genuinely has to sell this one. Black interior, that forest green exterior. You get the number plates as well. As he said, what am I going to do with them? They're going with the car, and it is a beautiful car. I think there's waiting lists for 2 or 3 months on these. This one is available right now in Brisbane, and I'm loving that car, absolutely loving it. Speaking of absolutely crazy, a couple of crazy ones. This is love it or hate it. Just a wrapped 2024 Model Y. Again, lots of extras on this one. This one's around Sydney, New South Wales Rego. You don't have to keep the wrap on. I should buy it. This is just about amazing EV colours. Absolutely incredible. Loving this car. Thrilled that these guys are advertising on Amazing EV. Lights the whole website up. This one here, speaking of lighting things up, I put this on Facebook. And, well, there was a few interesting answers about what happened with the wheels and not driving that on some rough roads. It's been bagged, it's been lowered, it's been kitted up. I love these sort of things, these boy racer things. More of this sort of stuff, the more the merrier. Customize away, because the sooner these cars get into modern culture, custom culture, the more popular they become. And yeah, it does go up and down. So no, he's not going to scrape it on the speed humps. That one, not a bad price, 22 with all that gear on it. That is phenomenal. Again, show car. Loving that. Seen a couple of Polestars as well. Back in business with the Polestars as well. Performance pack, long range. This is not a bad deal. Again, they were probably closer to 40-ish a while ago, but this is a lot of car for 2022. He's only done 30,000 Ks. Performance pack, long range. Don't know why he's selling. I guess you could ask why people are still selling and why there's still cars out there when everybody's supposed to be buying an EV, but they're moving them along. The reasons are genuine. A couple of Polestars there to check out. A couple of Model Ys, bigger K1 there. And this one, of course, Joe saw this during the week and loving this one as well. That's not bad. 85 grand. There might be a deal on this. Up in, where is he? Melbourne, I think. Brisbane. Again, hardly been used. No track work. Absolutely pristine condition. This is what it's all about. We're getting some fantastic cars. We're getting some amazing cars. I'm thrilled that these cars are coming through. It is incredible. But have a look at this story, this next story we've got coming up in the second half now. Stay around. If you've got to go and you want to do something, come back again in about 27 minutes. I promise you it's worth it. This was the most engaging. And we've had some great guests and we've got some great buyers and some beautiful people. But this story was wonderful. And I rang Les a couple of days ago and said, would you like to come on the show and talk about what happened? And there's a couple of twists and turns in this. He came back and said, I've written a song about my Kia EV5. Now, this is absolutely magical, and it really warmed me in a way that it meant this all comes home about what we're trying to do here and why we're trying to do it. So I'm going to leave you for half an hour. Keep messaging. We can chat in the messages. Wait, if you've got to go, come back again in 27 minutes. But it's a fascinating conversation about a guy that's all in on EVs, a beautiful guy, a wonderful guy. Enjoy this, everyone.
You love my Kia EV5. I got the first car feeling all over again. Don't wanna let it go, oh no, no. She says I gotta let it go, I gotta let it go. I don't wanna let it go.
Hey Les, welcome to EV Marketplace on a Wednesday night. Thanks very much for joining me. How are you and How's it been?
Oh, it's good. It's been pretty busy.
That's
Pretty
good.
busy selling it. There's a
Selling
lot
it.
to do.
It is. It's a challenge, and I know a lot of people take it on. But I just want to know that there's a few firsts going on here. You're the first real seller that we've had on the show. I talked to a lot of people, a lot of experts, a lot of YouTubers, but you're the first actual seller. You're the first person with a Kia EV5 that I've helped sell as well. There haven't been many to market yet. Maybe that speaks to the popularity of them. And you are the first
Maybe.
person to submit a song about and write a song about their used car and selling the used car. Now, we've had a lot of passionate people who love their cars, but you are the first to have to let us know. And that intro was a song that Les wrote. And stay tuned to the very end of this interview because the whole song is there, and it is an absolutely beautiful song. So, hey, what inspired you? What was your EV aha moment where you first thought EVs were going to be the thing?
Yeah, before I do that, I was just going to tell you, I haven't written a song for 15 to 20 years. That's the first time I've written a song in 20 years. So it was an
We shouldn't tell
important
everybody that
moment, and I won't forget it.
look, it's so good. It's like you've written songs everywhere. It looks like you're a songwriter professionally. That's how good it is. But you got to wait till the end to see it and listen to it because it's a very passionate song
Don't worry.
about owning a Kia EV. But there, let's not tell everybody that. But how did you get onto the EV journey?
Well, it's been 4 or 5 years before I wanted to have one. But my partner, Liz, she often said, look, you got to wait for the technology to
Yeah.
improve. You got to wait. And the NRMA said that by 2025, there'll be parity. So then you'll be able to buy an EV for the
Yeah.
same price, an ICE car, a petrol car.
Hmm.
So I thought, okay, I'll wait. I was itching. But as soon as 2025 came, I went out.
So
But I
that's what,
spent all my time looking for an EV3.
yeah.
But then a friend of mine had an EV5
Hmm.
around the corner, and he said to me, do you want to come for a drive? So I went for a drive, and I loved it. And my partner was away at the time. And then I was just looking, I wonder how much they're worth, the EV5. I looked it up, I thought, oh, that's too much. And then suddenly this one popped up. That was secondhand. And I love secondhand. I hate paying new car price.
Now you're talking our language now. We love secondhand as well.
I love secondhand. Well, something's done 20,000. That's nothing.
Yeah.
For the battery, lasts for years, the paint work. I bought it when it was 7 months old,
Yeah.
So my partner wasn't there at the time, and I saw that. And she said she wanted an all-wheel drive. And I said, okay, I found one. The EV3 doesn't have all-wheel drive. This one is. So I sent her a picture. And she said, yeah, it's all right. It's good. Yeah, okay, if you like it, yeah, well, it's fine. So I bought it secondhand, and I loved it. I still love it.
Wait till you hear the song. Les loves this car. So, look, what's the plan briefly? We talked a couple of weeks ago now. You let me know by email. Very nice email. Sent some and let me know that you were looking to sell. Maybe we can help. You were using some other platforms as well, car sales and Facebook.
Yeah.
What did you think when you first started to go through the processes? What were your initial thoughts about how you were going to approach it?
Well, I thought, I sort of thought there'd be so many people out there looking for secondhand EVs because the new ones are more expensive. And I thought, okay, well, and I love your site because
thank
the
you.
people are going to look at your site. They're going to be people looking for EVs.
Yeah.
They're serious. If they're going to look on AmazingEV's website, they're serious. They're the people I want. You know? Whereas when you get on Facebook, people just scroll.
Yeah.
30,000 people look at it, but out of them, you just want one person, but often they're just scrollers. So I love your site that it's an EV secondhand. I love that, and I was so happy to support that.
We're signing Les up as an ambassador. He's not a paid sponsor. There's no paid agreement yet, but I think we're getting. If it sounds like we're getting close, we might be close. But no, we really appreciate the support because that's what we had in mind when we built it.
Yeah.
To those people that were just looking for EVs, and we're staying pure EV. Those people that were just looking for an EV, we'd attract those sort of buyers, and hoping to find fantastic private sellers like yourself. I think we've found that private sellers who really care about EVs, whether that's a first or second car or a used car that they bought, and have really cared for them and looked after them. Let's go back a bit, if you don't mind.
No.
Did you see Kia as one of your first options? I've got to admit, to me, it is not the most attractive car. I'm a Tesla Model Y owner, but the more we've talked and the more I've looked at this one as we've advertised it on AmazingEV, the more it's grown on me. And what attracted you to Kia as a brand or the car?
Well, what attracted me was I first looked at the EV3 because the range was 604 kilometers.
Mm.
And to me, that was one of the most important things. I didn't care about the color. I didn't care that it had seat heating or massage, all the things my car's got. But I cared more about the range and the name Kia. I know I could go down to Woy Woy and get it. And I've watched so many reviews.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to watch reviews, you watch so many.
Yeah.
And I love the physical buttons. I don't like going through the screen.
Yeah.
I don't like to be driving, playing with that.
Yeah.
And I like physical buttons. And on a Kia, you've got buttons for your aircon. You can just adjust your fan. You can do all that, you know. So I love that part of it, and I love the range. And actually, I love the look of it.
Yeah, I know. That's the fantastic thing about everybody. There is a car for everybody. I think there's over 110, 120 different cars now, EVs. And that's right. I mean, what you love, and that's the fantastic thing about being different, is that, as I say, it has grown on me a bit, but it's not love at first sight. Impressed that you love it so much because, we'll get to what's happening next because, I guess that interior to me, does it feel like it was more, and again, we haven't done a lot of work with Kias, and I haven't driven many myself. I've driven the big one. I've driven the EV9, but I haven't driven the 3 or the 5. I've driven the 6, but did you have a look at a 6, an EV6 at all?
No, it was more expensive.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I care about money. I like secondhand, but I could get an EV3 much cheaper than an EV6 or an EV9.
Yeah.
Or than Tesla. You know what I mean? So I just like the price of them. They were priced.
Yeah.
Secondhand is if I could get.
Because
when that car was new, it was 72,000, I think. Now they're 67.
Yeah.
But it was 72 brand new. So I didn't want to pay that. No way.
It is a good looking car. I like it from the front, and getting back to price. So I mean, that's the great thing. There has been
talking about the look.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who's an artist, she calls it the robot boy.
Yeah.
It looks like a robot. And I like that.
I know they've really taken on that style across the Kia family now. Again, as I say, I don't mind it from the front. That looks pretty cool, more boxy. And I think we had a bit of a comparison with the Tesla Model Y just for references. I'm happy to be in Tesla camp, but it's a nice reference point at very least, even if you're not, get how wide it is. And it's a fraction narrower, maybe 100 mil narrower than the Model Y, but I think it's 100 mil taller. So you've mentioned range a couple of times now. So you really like the 500k range. Has it given you close to that?
When I'm obsessed with range. I'm obsessed with it. I drive mainly on the Central Coast, so I usually don't even put on the aircon.
Yeah.
I wind the window down a bit. I don't put all that massage stuff or all the things and I drive real slow. You know, I drive to the limit, and then if I'm on the highway, I'll drive no more than 100.
Yeah.
I won't go past 100 because I want to keep my range. I'd rather get there. I'd rather get there than have to stop and charge.
Yeah.
So I drive like an old man, you know. So I don't know.
You don't look like an old man. So tell me, are you getting, for anyone out there who's interested in and this is the Kia, tell me exactly, it's the Kia Premium, it's the Kia Earth, which is the long range all-wheel drive. It is the all-wheel drive, isn't it?
Yeah. It says 500 kilometers on there, but I get 580.
Yeah, 508, yeah?
80. 86.
So for anyone out there who wants a long range car, this is the Kia Earth. it's got the bigger battery. It's got the 80 kilowatt hour battery, and it is all-wheel drive, but you're getting 580 if you drive economically.
That's it.
Does that have regeneration, regen?
Yes, it's got 4 levels.
Yeah.
I drive on number 3. It's not too jerky. I just like it on 3.
Yeah.
And it seems to give me good range on the 3.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I'm driving, you go downhill, you get down the bottom, you got more range,
Yeah.
than when you started. So
I meant, yeah, you've been up to the Blue Mountains, you've mentioned, and yeah, I've come back down the Blue Mountains from the Blue Mountains, and you come back through a section through Heathcote, and you end up with almost more than what you did when you started coming down the hill.
It makes my day. If I can
and
get a bit further,
go ahead.
I love it. I love it if I can get more range out of it.
Yeah, I think, look, in years to come, this is just the start, right? But I think 580 is really impressive, and I think Kia would be very pleased to hear that the way you're driving with regen. I did some work earlier in the show and had a look at a battery test on my Tesla Model Y, which has done over 110,000 Ks, and that's at about 91% capacity now. But there was some data there that showed my full usage of energy and kilometers for the car since day one. And it is over 30% of what I've used in energy has been contributed by regen. Now, that really surprised me. I do a lot of urban driving. Of course, if you do a lot of highway driving, but that's such a big contribution. So yeah, if you're a regen fan, it is making a difference to your range as well. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But
it may even be better if I went on level 4, because on level 4, you don't even use the brake.
No, I know.
You don't even use the brake.
I'm a big fan of not using it. Well, I'm trying not to use the brakes and using regen where I can. Not that I'm not stopping. But so Kia was the answer. But what did you have before? Have you had Kias, or was that first time Kia?
Never had a Kia. I was only watching all the reviews, all the different cars.
Yeah,
that's the one. I never had a Kia. I did Subaru, Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
I had a big old Combi once too, 1974 Combi. Yeah. So that was a great.
You should have kept that one.
I sold it, but I bought a brand new car for the same price. That's the only time I bought a new car.
I know. That is unbelievable. Really impressive. And did a hybrid fit into the equation when you were buying or when you were going EV?
I'm a pure EV man.
Yeah.
I'm not going down the hybrid. That's conning people. They got a bit of a battery. They got to put petrol in it.
I know.
They still got an engine. Whereas in this big car I've got, it's got 2 little motors, the wheels.
Exactly.
That's it.
I know. Keep preaching, because we're doing the same thing. We're not. I'm not. Nowhere near am I convinced that hybrids are either part of the solution or not causing more complications and going to cause more complications and headaches for the owners further down the track. So I'm totally with you. We're not featuring any hybrids on AmazingEV. It's just EVs only. So
that's right.
It's good. We're on the same page there, absolutely. And then sadly, what caused you to put this one on the market? And sounds like you love the Kia. Sounds like you love this one, but alas, it's got to be sold, right?
Yeah, it's got to be sold, because when Liz came home from holidays, and I showed, there's the car, and she just said, it's too big. That's it. And I said, no, it's good. You drive it. You'll be okay, But it's taken 10 months of me. She's never budged it. It's too big for 2 old people.
Yeah, okay.
So I had wanted the EV3, so I said, all right then. Eventually I gave up. I said, okay, we'll sell it. If we can't sell it, I'm keeping it. I'm telling you, I'm keeping it. We can't sell it.
So so you're staying with Kia. So impressed.
Yeah.
And Kia EV3, which again, there's some great tools out there to do some comparisons in terms of sizes for just about any car and everything. This one shows what we've got up now. The difference in size between the EV3 and the EV5. It is. I've seen an EV3 in the flesh. I've seen plenty of both of them, but I've sat in an EV3. It is. Yeah, it's more of a compact SUV size down at sort of 4.3 meters versus yours is up at 4.5, or even 4.2, I think. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be a much nice, smaller, compact car. Have you got any
So,
dogs or pets that need to go need to go in the back?
no,
Oh,
no. Oh, I've got a dog. I've got a dog, but she's not coming in that car. She's not coming in the car. But I've got a friend. Two people I know, who like the EV5 because they can fit their big dog in there.
yeah,
That's the only reason they bought it. No other reason.
exactly. So yeah, the EV3 is it looks. I mean, it looks very similar. And again, if you just saw a photo of the EV5, there's the EV5, there's the EV3. It's different perspective, of course, but yeah, you wouldn't know necessarily how big it was just from the photo. It is a bit deceptive there,
No.
so that's fair enough. But now you've got to make the practical choice. So time to sell the EV5, get an EV3, and can you still get a model with the same sort of range? I haven't started researching much. We were talking earlier, but what do you need to buy for an EV3 to get the same sort of deal?
Well, because I'm into range, I'm going
Mm.
to get the one with the most range.
Yeah.
And the most range is the Air long range.
Mm.
So it can do 604, and I reckon I get 700.
If you drive it and do you pump the tires up at all? Do you make sure you got increased tire pressure? It's like an endurance run. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I must look into that. I might get another 10 Ks.
Yeah, I know. It's
You never
aircon
know.
off, windows up. So that is going to be a very attractive package indeed. So you think so probably mid 50s, early 50s again for
Yeah.
happy to look at a new or a used. And I don't think there's many used. I think we chatted. There's not
I
many
look
used
for you to
EV3s.
find you.
Yeah, and
If you
that's
can find you one.
okay, because that's part of what we do as well. If anyone's interested out there, we do help people look for new cars and used cars. If you're looking for something, as Les suggested, if we're going to try and help him tap into some dealers that we know as well, see if we can find something out there. There's often cars sitting at some regional dealers that, again, may or may not have noticed or got onto the advertising. But if anyone needs some help looking for a car as well as selling cars through Amazing EV, we are more than happy to help. Contact us and we'll do our best to see if we can find you a deal, new or used. But there are not many on the used market, but perhaps, and so far the waiting list seems to be, and it's very tight, but hopefully we can find you one. But, and
That'd
then,
be great.
yeah, we'll see what we can, we'll do our best. I've also, yeah, I've had a look at the EV3. I think there's an EV2 coming, but that's going to be too small. The EV3 looks like a perfect size. Do you think the
Perfect size.
front wheel drive's not going to make any difference? I think the EV3 is front wheel drive. Yeah. Um,
Well, actually the EV5, when it only goes into mainly goes into all-wheel drive when you put it in sports mode. And I
yeah.
drive in Echo. I've never needed, like
Yeah.
I go up a steep driveway. It's never slipped. It's
No.
a solid, big, heavy car, and it's no problem as being a two-wheel drive,
Yeah.
and it's front wheel drive, same as that one,
I think
same as the EV3.
yeah, look, that's amazing that you were getting that sort of range with two motors, all-wheel drive on that. But as you say, if it's just using the front one, then that's all it needs. That's all the EV3 needs. So
Yeah,
that is fantastic. But then, look, we had this on Amazing EV, the EV5. We had it on Amazing EV for a week, and you had it on car sales, and you've dabbled a bit with Facebook. And then we chatted earlier in the week about coming on to talk about it and your experience in buying and selling. And then all of a sudden you got some fantastic news about 24 hours ago.
yeah. Somebody, just first person who saw it wanted it. I couldn't believe it. I was going to put that in the ad. First person will buy it, but it was more likely it was going to be first person who sees it
Yeah.
will think about it.
Yeah.
So then you spend another. No, he just said, "Yep, I'll take it." I was shocked.
That's
I was
brilliant.
shocked. The first person
And
who wanted it.
what was the offer from the trade-in, just by way of comparison? And I'm not going to tell everyone exactly what you got, but it's very close to what you advertised. It's certainly above
Yeah.
50, just for anyone who's for reference, but it's Les's business exactly. But what were they offering you by way of trade-in for an EV3?
By way of trade, 39,000,
Yeah.
and then I've loads and loads of people who they're brokers or something.
Yeah.
They say we buy cars, but then they sell it to the dealer.
Yeah.
but then they're going to make 10,000 on each car.
Yeah.
So why would I sell it to them?
Yeah.
But they're the main people that have contacted me.
Yeah.
There's heaps and heaps that want to buy the car off you
Yeah.
cheap, quick, and you
Exactly.
get rid of the car.
They're preying on, yeah, they're preying on people's, I guess, the urgency of the matter. And I think that's, for anyone who's got some patience and is happy to sell, it takes a little bit of time and it does take a little bit of care. But yeah, you're going to get bombarded with people in the wholesale market who are trying to buy it cheap and then sell it through to dealers who can, on the wholesale market, they make money that way. That's their business. Fair enough. If you've got a bit more
Yeah,
time and you're happy to wait and persevere with another private buyer, that's when you're going to get close to what the market value is. Although we talked about, this is a very good value car. I think that you priced it really, really well to sell. I think that you've done really well. It's a magnificent result to get someone, the private buyer, just confirmed. And I think that, yeah, the dealers' trade-in prices, although prices generally have gone up and are strong on the used EV market, the trade-in prices haven't reflected that. So that's the message of the current market out there at the moment. But you've been,
yeah,
I wouldn't say you've been lucky. You've done well. You've prepared it nicely. We've presented it. We've helped. It didn't sell through AmazingEV, but we are happy to support any platform, anyone who buys, no matter what they do, because as long as you get a result, we're more than happy. So look, that's brilliant.
I would have loved to sell it through Amazing EVs. Would have
Oh,
loved it.
and we appreciate your support. The people that we've worked with, we've really enjoyed it because we've worked much more closely and promoted it across our channels. This live show, we're promoting different cars, something not quite vanilla. We're happy to talk about. So lots of people are coming on the journey with us, and we really appreciate your support, Les. It's really valuable. So one last message. Let's wrap up. Anyone who's thinking about buying a Kia or a Kia EV5, what would you say to them?
Oh, they're a great car.
Yeah.
Like you always got to be able to go to get it serviced. I can go 15 minutes away or 30 minutes
Yeah.
away to get service. Easy to get parts. I know they're going to be in business for a
Yeah.
long time, and I like the physical buttons.
Yeah.
I like to be able to do that.
Feels
And what
good.
I love about the EV5, it's got an LFP battery
Yeah.
versus the NMC battery.
Yeah.
LFP is so much healthier.
Yeah.
So when I go to the EV3, unfortunately, that's one of the downers. It's got an NMC battery.
Has got the.
So
Yeah. Look,
doesn't have
the battery management technology has come along a long way since the original NMC. But I didn't ask you, and I should have. I won't forget now. I remember you've got solar at home. Mm.
Oh yes, I'm obsessed with solar as well.
So
and a battery.
and a battery. Mm. And a
I
battery as
watch it
well.
on my phone, see how much I'm making,
Yeah.
charge the car.
All right.
There's a bit to it. It
Yeah.
takes a bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
But I love solar.
Yeah.
So, and I've actually charged that car virtually the whole time
Yeah.
on the sun.
So
It doesn't cost me a cent, except when I'm out.
I know that's absolutely brilliant. Like, apart from coming back from a long trip, you got the satisfaction of knowing that it absolutely costs you zero to fill up a car all the time. Look, one day we won't be amazed by it. It'll just be standard practice. But at the moment, I'm really happy that you're sharing in that, enjoying that, because it is amazing, and that's what we like to see. The whole package: solar, battery, and car, and enjoying it like you are. So, hey, thanks, Les. Really appreciate you joining me. And look, we'll do our best to find Les a Kia EV3. And thanks very much for your time.
And I'll tell all my friends about Amazing EV website. I've actually watched this tonight.
Thanks, Les. Yeah, we need some more viewers, and we need more sellers, more buyers, and we really appreciate it. So thanks for your time. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
No worries.
That was Les, and he's in Sydney, but he's just sold his Kia EV5. Absolutely a fantastic result. Another happy customer. We're going to help him look for a Kia EV3. You'll catch us next week. We'll be back next Wednesday night as well. More cars, more deals and data and discovery. In the meantime, I want to just take you out on the rest of the song that Les wrote and performed. First time he's written a song in 15 years. And this just about made me cry about how much he's loved this car and a Kia. Have a listen to this, and I'll take you out on Les with his song about his Kia EV5.
I love my Kia EV5. so smooth and quiet, so spacious and comfortable. Gets me from A to B, from the mountains to the sea. Yeah, I've been to Aladala, I've been to Katoomba. I can go 500 Ks, no need to charge on the way. Gotta sit down and lie back and let the seat soothe my back. And when I'm home, the sun is shining. I love to charge from the sun. It's running on sunshine. It's a good feeling. And when there's a storm and the power goes out, I can run a lead from the car to the house. Yeah, the food will stay cool. I can go on YouTube. Yeah. I love my Kia EV5. I got that first car feeling all over again. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love my Kia EV5. I got that first car feeling all over again. Don't wanna let it go. Oh no. She says I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go. I don't wanna let it go.